The British and French were the greatest among many European nations to establish footholds in the Pacific and East Indies or Southeast Asia during the 1700s. The two expeditions to New Holland, the French one under Baudin, the other a more modest affair coordinated by Flinders for the British Admiralty, were launched at almost identical moments, but for different purposes. For Baudin, New Holland was part of a much broader scientific interest in the Pacific. Flinders was a more focused brief to accurately chart the coast of New Holland. In one sense, Matthew Flinders was the first person to chart the coast of Australia. With time on his hands on Mauritius, he set about drawing up his charts in preparation for his ultimate release. He drew the first map of the Australian coast, but spent the next 6 or 7 years on Mauritius, a guest of the French. His cartographer rival Louis de Freycinet published the first map before Flinders could do anything about it, but in one sense neither Flinders nor Freycinet actually charted the whole coast. While they both charted much of the southern and eastern parts of Australia, and much more closely than had the Dutch, both had access to the Dutch charts of northern and western Australia and made use of these to complete the job and rush the first map of Australia to print. It's long been held that the British first used the name Australia as a derivation of Australis, the Greek word for south, when they charted its coast in the early 1800s. Flinders added the name to his general chart drawn in 1804, though it wasn't officially adopted by the British until the 1820s. But this wasn't the first time Australia appeared on the map. About 10 years ago, the National Library acquired a rare and rather battered-looking German book on astronomy, published in 1545, about 250 years before the British ventured the name. In it, a map of the world based on Greek cartography shows the southern continent at the top and named it Australia. Probably just a coincidence.